in a way, the lie you believe in the power of sacrifice. You know, when I started my career, I believed the same lies as everybody, because it's interesting how in this world, the world of the music business, everybody lies to you. Nobody's telling you the truth about this business, because everybody is not trying to make you spooked and scared of the business. Everybody is actually trying to make you believe that you're going to be amazing, you're going to be the number one, you're going to make a ton of money, it's going to be amazing, you're the one, you're the best. There's a lot of people that are going to be giving you all these compliments, but nobody's telling you the truth about the entertainment business in general. And you don't realize that you are entering a space where not only you have to be vigilant always, because it's full of crooks, it's full of fake friends, it's full of people who will lie to you about the friendship they pretend they have for you, as long as you make them money. And a lot of people that will lie to you about what you need to do in this business to survive on the long term, because they just want to profit from you in the short term. And when I got into the Zouk Kizomba Afro business, and even before, when I signed to Sony Music Publishing and Sony Records via Globe Music, I mean, I thought, this is it. I signed. Oh man, it's gonna be amazing. I'm so happy. But actually, this is the beginning. That's the beginning of realizing that everything you're doing in the beginning is a sacrifice. You're sacrificing so much for this business. You don't see your kids, because you travel all the time, or you're in the studio all the time. You lose girlfriends because you're always working, you're always making music, and it's not every woman or boyfriend or man that can understand that they come number two in your life. A lot of people, they don't know how to handle that. They want to be the number one in your life, and they realize that music, your passion, your and it could be other things, is the number one. And with all these sacrifices you do, you believe it's going to take you somewhere, because everybody is telling you that it's going to take you somewhere. But a lot of people don't tell you, what up, my brother Damu? A lot of people don't tell you that to survive in this music business, you have to understand a few fundamental things. One of them is the importance of understanding how you're gonna retire. You know, if you are 16, 18, 20, 22, you never realize that one day you're going to be blessed and be 50. You see the people that are 50, you see your dad, your mom, you see mentors or the people who sign you to the record labels. They're in their 50s. And to you it's old people, and you like it's like if you will never get there. You feel like, yeah, I'm 20, I'll be 15, 30 years. Like, it's like an eternity. And then one day you're 50. And that's when you realize that the choices that you took when you were 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, up to 30 in the music business, at 50, that's when you will realize if you took the right choices or if you didn't. And 99% of the artists don't make the right choices when they are at the prime. At their prime, your prime is when you have the energy to not sleep at night, you have the drive to create like crazy, to record all these songs, to do all that stuff, to go perform here and there, take the plane, the train, the car, etc., etc. And you are actually not realizing that what you are doing right now is, it's going to be when you are 50 that they're going to make sense or not. And the problem is, most people you meet in the industry, they talk to you as if you're going to be 20 forever. You amazing. You the next Michael Jackson. You the next Justin Bieber. You the next Mariah Carey. You the next Beyonce. You the next Kanye. You this. You so amazing. Oh my God, we've never seen somebody like you. Blah 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 blah. And nobody's telling you one day you're gonna be 50. And when you are 50, what you're doing today is gonna change everything. And all you see when you have your first hit, you have your first song that bangs, right? Everybody's smiling. Everybody's telling you that you're amazing. Everybody's telling you you have to do another one. The fans are telling you they love you. They're telling you, oh my God, you're the best artist I ever met. Oh my God, I'm your fan number 0. I'm your biggest fan. Oh my God, I never loved somebody like I love you. Oh my God, I love your song so much. I will always support you. Even the fans are lying to you. This girl that is telling you when she's 16, 17, 18, that your music is everything to her, and she will always be your number one fan, and etc. She's lying, but she doesn't know. One day, the most important thing to her will be her kids, her husband, her job. She will be interested in her own path. And your music, she will be like, oh my God, I remember when I was 16, high school, first boyfriend. Oh my God, your music meant everything. Like, that was the soundtrack of my life. But when she's 40, she has other things to do because her baby is 20 now. And her baby is not going to be your fan. Her baby is going to be the fan of somebody who's 20 as well. And you're going to go from superstar or star or somebody who has a hit to somebody who's a legend, somebody who has the respect. But fame turns into respect. Fame turns into success, turns into respect. And all this is normal. And I've been lucky that my mentor, one of my mentors, I don't remember if it was Jean-Claude who told me that or if it was Dominique, but one day they sat me down. I think both of them told me that in different ways. Dominique was the CEO of Warner Music France, and Jean-Claude was the CEO of a radio in South America, in Cayenne, called RFO, Radio France Outre-mer. And one day, one of those told me in different ways. They told me music genres and a career is like this. You have, just like a plane, you're gonna take off, and that's when it's gonna ask you a lot of energy, and then it's called taking off, and then you're gonna have the cruise. That just makes a lot of noise, and then you're gonna have the cruise altitude when you reach your level, and people say you plateau, and you're gonna go like this for a number of years. Nobody knows how much, and then at a point, you're gonna start landing because you arrive at your destination. And a lot of artists mistake that part with a career. Your career is from taking off to landing. That's a career. Some people, they take off and they burst in flame at takeoff. We call them one-hit wonder. You hear, bam, you have your hit, and then your head explodes. You start doing all the things that you're not supposed to do, and maybe you think that the team that took you here is you're better than them now, so you get a new team, and that new team is, the chemistry makes that you are never able again to do something like this. So after taking off, either you explode at takeoff, or you just go down straight, or you land. Maybe you do a few shows and then nothing. We see that all the time in the music industry. Some people believe, and a lot of people believe, that here the cruise altitude is the most important part of your career. And in a way, it kind of is, but what's important is not what you hear. What is important is what you're going to do when you hear. Because when you hear, this is the time you have to think of when you're going to land. So this is when you have all the doors open, all the opportunities, all the things. So when I say all the doors are open, it means that the doors to the clubs are open. Meaning that if you want to go to the club and party, meet girls, guys, whatever you fancy, it's open. You're going to arrive to the club. You're not going to queue. They're going to make you come from the VIP section. You're not going to cross the line. You're going to feel good about yourself. And then you're not going to pay for the thing. And maybe if it's a club that really want to make you feel good, they're going to offer you a bottle and a table for you and your friend. They're going to tell you, hey, how many people? Oh, my God, it's Looney Johnson. How many people are with you? I got 10 people. Yeah. Everybody go inside of the club. And yeah, it feels good. It feels great. But this is a diversion. It's you going to the club is cool. But when you're in the club chilling, you are not working on when you're going to be 50. You're working on, you're not working. You're just enjoying life because you just had a song. You're not in the studio working on the next song. You're not doing stuff that will change your life in the future. What up, Joel? And the thing is this. Once you are successful, the doors are open, the hyenas are looking at you, and everybody's complimenting you. And all these can go to your head quickly because it feels great. in reality, this is the moment when the doors of the studios are open as well, and the doors of making the right featuring with the right people are open as well. You got some people, when they get successful, they start refusing to work with people who are not successful or people who are smaller than them. And what you create is resentment from people who maybe when you are 35, maybe they will be successful. And you will be like, hey, can you help me? Like, can we do a song together? And they will look at you like, nah. You always have to ask yourself. You never know who's going to be who, right? In the people that you meet. So what you have to do is actually give a hand to people today when they are nothing, so that when they are something, hopefully they remember. And maybe when you need a hit or when you need to actually stay relevant thanks to them, they will say, oh, of course, with pleasure. You're a legend. And or you helped me back in the days. But all these comes with a vision. It comes with the thing where you don't tell to yourself that you're the best and you're going to be the best forever. But soon as you have success, you don't need to tell this to yourself. Everybody's going to tell you. Everybody's going to tell you you're the best. You're going to be the best forever. Oh my God, you're so amazing. Da 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 da. And there's a lot of money that's coming in. Let me tell you a story. So back in 1999, my hit is Bounce Baby. So first album, first banger, Bounce Baby. And I hire my manager. We do a casting. We hire a band of dancers. So now we have 2 main dancers plus some backup dancers. So we do some shows and we are paid. So in these industries, usually you paid cash, right? So we do a couple of shows for maybe a year, a lot of, paid cash, like 1,000 euros here, 1,000 euros there, We do a lot of shows. So you get a lot of money in cash. That's great. Cool. And one day my manager tells me, okay, I think we should start. I mean, you having a great business, you're making a lot of shows. We should start declaring the money you are earning, and we should start telling the clubs to stop paying us cash and to start paying us with a wire transfer, and we're gonna send them a facturation. Like, instead of paying you directly or be giving us cash money from the thing, they will send us a bank transfer. So we're not getting paid on the day. They will send us a bank transfer, and we will have a contract for every show, so that we can declare all your shows to the government. Of course, we're gonna have to pay taxes now on the shows, but for the government, you will be existent as an entity that is making money and paying your dues. And I was like, okay, how much is it gonna cost me? So she tells me, yeah, listen, every show you're supposed to get 1,000. If we do the declaration, we have to pay the added value tax, TVA in France, IVA in Portuguese. So instead of getting 1,000 for your shows, for now you're gonna get 800 for your shows, and we're gonna have to declare at the end of the year, boom, and you will pay taxes on all the shows you do. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So we go to talk to the dancers, and we're like, hey guys, I don't remember how much they were getting per show. I think they were getting 150 per show. and for each one 150. So we tell them that we're changing our structure, and that we want to know if they want to be declared and paid and the same way. And they ask us what are the advantages, what are the inconvenience, but we explain to them everything. Cool. We go do a show. At the end of the show, the dancers are like, yeah, where's my money? And we tell them, oh, you have to give us your bank account numbers, and you will receive your money tomorrow morning in your bank account. And one of the dancers is like, oh, yeah, but I mean, my bank account is at minus something. I cannot put money in there, whatever. I was like, well, and the other one is like, how much we're going to receive? And we're like, yeah, you're going to receive 130 or 125. And they're like, oh, no, that's not what we decide. We said it was 150, blah, 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 blah. And we're like, yeah, but because we're going to declare that money, we also have to remove the value-added tax from the payment. So both of them say, oh, no, we want to get paid cash. So my manager looks at me, asks me, what's my decision? I'm like, yeah, listen, if they want to be paid cash, pay them cash. Okay. So we take money from the money we have, and we give them, we ask the club if they can remove their money from the cash that, clubs make a lot of cash from people paying the entrance. And we pay them 150 and 150 cash. Okay. They're happy, cool. At the end of the year, the fiscal year, so the beginning of the summer, I go to unemployment and I tell them, hey, this year I made 10,000 or 20,000, I don't remember, of shows that I declared. I did this amount of work and this amount of hours. So as I'm unemployed as an artist, and now the season is over, it's the end of the summer, I want to apply for the help for artists. And the state tells me, oh yes, you perform for X amount of hours, we have a special in France I used to be there in France. It's called what's the name of it? Les intermittents du spectacle. So they pay actors, people who work in movies, etc., etc. And since you declared 25,000 euros of shows this year, and now you're not going to work until the beginning of the year, meaning you're not going to work for September, October, November, December, until your shows begin again and you start declaring. So you tell them, hey, I'm not going to work for 6 months. Actually, you're still doing shows cash now. But you tell them, and what they do, they give you 70% of the money that you were supposed to do. And it's part of something that the government made in France to help artists. So at the end of the summer, I receive 20,000 from the government. Why? Because I declared my shows. And so these guys, let's say they said, hey, I made 5,000 from doing shows with Kaysha this year, this fiscal year. The government will tell them, oh, amazing, here is 4,000 for you. Oh, amazing. And then you can go continue doing your shows, but this time cash. And then you go back to declaring. So those guys, when I tell them, wow, it's amazing, I just received a check from the government of 20,000. They look at me like, wow, how? I said, oh, I'm this, and they're like, oh, we want it too. They call my manager tell them, guys, like for the government, you don't exist. And they were like, what you mean? I was like, yeah, you don't exist. You don't exist because you never declared your shows. So you cannot tell them that you made X amount of money in cash, because that is supposed to be money that you didn't pay your taxes on. So the government will not help you. And they got pissed, but there was nothing we could do. And what they didn't understand as well is that by not declaring all the shows they did, this doesn't count in your retirement as a professional. Because for the government, you not exist. Because you don't pay your taxes on the shows you make cash, the government doesn't count this as money for your retirement when you are 65. So it means that you're going to make money for whatever amount of years you're going to make money. But one day, when it's going to be time to retire, normally they're going to look at all the money you paid to the retirement of your country, right? And they will say, hey, every month you paid this amount of retirement, so we calculate that every month now, for the rest of your life, now that you are retired, we're gonna give you 1,200, 1,500, and this might save your life when you're 65 and you can't work. But a lot of artists, nobody tell them that. Everybody's telling them, hey, look at this money you're making, it's amazing. But all that money you're making it now, and you're gonna burn it today. You're gonna burn it in clubs, drinks, women, restaurants, partying, going on a holiday, the kids, etc., and you're gonna wake up at the end of every year saying, oh, I made 50,000 this year and I have zero. What happened? Because it's the fast life, fast money coming in, money that is not going through a bank account. So it's just there. So it's easier to burn in your hand. You spend it. And you can make €1,000,000 in 10 years or 15 years. And after 15 years, you're like, I have 200 in my bank account. What happened? It's simple. The money just passed you. You pay this, you pay that. You start taking taxis instead of taking the metro. You start going to this type of restaurant because now you can. And when you went there, you start eating this. You start eating Wagyu beef because some people telling you that some motherfucker massaged the beef before they killed him. And oh my God, when you can eat some normal 15-year-old meat and it tastes the same, but you just start thinking that you fancy. So you start going to a certain type of places. You used to not care sleeping two people in the same in the same bed in a hotel, and now you need 2 suites. So instead of paying, when you go on holiday, instead of paying €80 per day of your hotel, you pay 300 or 400 or 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 because you have money. And everybody is telling you that this money, the flow of money, is going to be infinite. So if the flow of money is going to be infinite, let me spend it. So yeah, you do a show tonight, you take 1,000. You spend 1,000 tomorrow morning in the club, and then or you spend 500 in the club. Then the next day you take a girl to the movies, cost you 100. Take her to dinner, cost you another 150. Then buy yourself something that you don't need somewhere, and some shoes that cost a lot of money so you can impress people that don't like you. And you spend 1,000 and you don't care because you have a show tonight. So Saturday night, you just spend 1,000, you go perform, you get another 1,000. So you can spend it because next week there's shows. And you know, one day I was supposed to do a show in Africa, in Gabon, and it was in a stadium. I think it was paid 10,000. Listen, don't remember the prices, but probably paid at 10,000 or something like that. Probably in 2001 or something like that. So my manager tells me, hey, you having a show, the payment is there's two shows, it's gonna be 10,000 for the two shows. It's gonna be in this stadium, and then there's gonna be a show for the VIP people, blah 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 blah. Oh, I'm like, wow, amazing. So I think in my bank account I had something like 3,000, and I go to the Fnac. I like to go to the Fnac, watch TVs, and listen. There was this nice TV. So at that time, I didn't have a flat screen TV. A flat screen TV cost 5,000 at the time. There was this 45-inch flat TV. At that time, it was the best TV ever. I'm like, whoa, I want it. 5,000. I only have 3,000. Take my credit card. I pay for the TV. I pay for the TV plus some DVD and a new DVD player and some sound equipment. This 5,000. I have 3,000 in my bank account, but it's okay because I pay with my credit card, and I have to pay in 5 days or a week, and by the time I'm back from Gabon, I will have 10,000 in my bank account. So I spend 5,000. I go to Africa. In 3 days, I come back. I will have 10,000. So total in my calculation, I'm gonna have 5,000 when all the numbers meshes with themselves. So it's all good. So I go, I pay my stuff. I'm happy. I'm here, checking my TV. All good. The next day, take a shower, wake up at 6 a.m. I have a plane at 10 a.m. to go to Libreville. So I'm getting ready, But I'm calling my taxi. I'm in the taxi on my way to the airport. And my manager calls me. Did you see the news? I'm like, no, what's going on? Something happened in Gabon. There's some political unrest, whatever. Everything is canceled. The show was actually done by the presidency. They were the people paying us. We didn't have, it's somebody that I used to trust. If I meet somebody that I trust, it's somebody that we worked before. So I didn't ask for 50% security. They were supposed to pay everything soon as we land. And there, they have a lot of oil. So you arrive, they just give you a suitcase with a bunch of money inside. And I'm like, what? I'm on my way to the airport, and she's like, I'm in the airport too. I was like, what you mean? So the show is what? He said, no, the show is canceled. Forget it. I'm like, what you mean forget it? He's like, yeah, there's no more show. And I'm like, I just bought a TV. Listen, I arrive in my house. So I asked a taxi to turn back. So cost me 100 euros because the airport is far in Paris. I go back to my house, and now I'm like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? Because now I have this brand new TV and all this equipment, and I bought all seasons of Prison Break, DVD, whatever, all that stuff. And I only have 3,000 in my bank account, and by 2 days from now, I'm gonna be at minus 2,000 in my bank account. And boom, by Monday, my bank account was saying minus 2,000. And it stressed me out because I had to call the bank and tell them, don't worry, I will have the money I'm doing 2 shows this weekend. And at the weekend, I had 2 shows in the weekend. I had one show in London and another show somewhere. So now my bank account was, the next week, my bank account was at plus 200 after those 2 shows, because I had to pay the minus 2,000 I had. So with my 200, that was a week, 2 weeks with No restaurants, no going out, not doing nothing, not taking taxi. I stayed at home for 2 weeks. I just left to make money, and my manager was not paying me because she had the instruction to not even give me the money in my hand and directly put it in the bank account. So she was like, yep, you're performing for the queen. Performing, I'm singing, and to me it was like I was singing for free because the money was just like, it was not even going to my bank account. It was going to my bank account and then going to the bank because I was at minus 200. And listen, I learned a valuable lesson that day. Don't spend the money that is not yours yet. Even if you're sure that you're about to make 10,000, as long as it's not there in your bank account, don't spend it. But how many artists learn these lessons? How many artists understand that, hey, listen, take a little bit of money, invest it. Take a little bit of money, do this, take a little bit, no, because everybody is telling you in this business that tomorrow is going to be better than today. And in reality, it's not. There's going to be a point when your fans are going to get old. It's just life. There's going to be a moment when they're going to have something else to do than come to your shows every time you perform. That girl that comes to your show, every show you do, that guy that comes to your show, every show you do, and you see them in the front, they're going to be there for show number 1, number 2, number 3, after show number 10, they've been there 10 times. Maybe they're like, I'm passing today. I have something else to do. I have a girl to see. Or I just had a baby. I have to stay home. You see what I mean? And then if 10 years or 20 years pass, when you are 40, that fan is going to be 42. Maybe that baby they had when they were 20 is 20 now. They have to pay for university. They have to do this. Maybe they have a job. They have to go to job. They cannot come to the club to see you perform because they're working tomorrow. Because life happens to everybody. And by the time you're 40, the people in the club are 20, 16 to 20. They're not listening to old music, right? They are listening to the people of their age, and it's normal. And a lot of artists, they get frustrated by this. They don't get frustrated because they believe that music belongs to them and they should be successful forever. They're frustrated because everybody told them that they're gonna be the best forever and it's never gonna stop. Oh my God. But it does at a point. And you have to start asking yourself, oh, what's next in life? Am I retiring? If I do music all my life and I retire, how much is the government gonna pay me for my retirement? And if you spent your whole life making cash money, being paid black money, the government doesn't know you exist. You see what I mean? So I had the same thing happen to me during the pandemic. I was so soon as I arrived in Portugal, I made sure that all my business was right. So I registered myself as a taxpayer in Portugal. So I changed my fiscal residency to pay taxes here. Actually, I do pay taxes here, a lot of them. And I also registered myself as a self-entrepreneur. That is an owner of music and that goes studio, performing, etc. So I could remove all the expenses that I do from my taxes here in Portugal. Took an accountant, did all that, of course. But I also left all the different organisms in France and found the same organisms in Portugal. For example, We have something called Adami in France that takes care of, let's say you are a pianist and you play in songs, you have rights as a performer in a song. So you have to declare all the works where you play piano, and you have to have proof of that is which from session stuff or your name being in the credits of a song, something. So when you do this, you receive money from these organisms. So I start asking, hey, what is the equivalent of Adami here in Portugal? Somebody told me it's the GDA. Okay, I was like, okay, perfect. I went to GDA and I asked them to transfer all my works from France to Portugal. And now I'm a full member of GDA, SPA, which is the same as SACEM in France, and all these organisms, right? So every time I put keyboards production in a song, GDA pays me a little bit of money from the money they make from sales, etc., etc. But then the pandemic arrived, and a lot of people, no shows, nothing, no money for artists. All of a sudden people realize, oh my God, I don't have shows. What am I going to do? And GDA sent me I don't remember if it was every 3 months or I don't remember when, but it would send me a credit card as part of government, Portuguese government helping artists. I receive a credit card with 300 or 400 euros inside to do groceries. And yeah, I gave that to my wife and I said, hey, use this to do the groceries. And then I was talking to an artist who was struggling, and I was telling him, wow, that's amazing. I received a card from GDA with money inside to do my grocery as help for artists. I also have had the SPA ask me, hey, we're supposed to give you 12,000 this year for your author rights. If you want, we can send you 6,000. So I was explaining this to an artist, and he was telling me, I don't have 0 shows. I don't have money. I don't even know how I'm going to eat. How come they give you all these things? And I was like, because I'm registered and I'm paying my taxes, and I'm taking care of all the rights, my author rights, my composition rights, my performer rights. I'm at SPA, GDA, Sound Exchange, etc., etc. I'm receiving money from a lot of places. And during the pandemic, financially, I was fine. It was just, as everybody, I was stressed and I got sick. But in terms of money, I was fine. And every artist that called me were calling me to cry. And I was like, yeah, but don't you receive money from this? Don't you receive money from that? And they were like, no, I'm not part of these. I'm not even part of these. I was like, what's wrong with you guys? Because people don't think about the future. People only think about today. All the success they're having today, and they never understand that life is a game of chess. You have to play your moves early, and some of those moves will only result in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. People ask me how I live the way I live today when I don't do shows. And they're like, oh, your friends that are your age, they do a lot of shows, etc. I was like, guys, listen, when I was in 2003, in 2003, when I did On Dit Quoi, which is one of my biggest songs, I was also executive producing Sumia's album, Eligio's album, ABG's album, Looney Johnson, who was here, album. And then I did Taina, Shana, Mika Mendes first album. I did a lot of my own albums, all these albums belong to me, and they all generate money for the last 25 years. So the difference here is that because I'm a content owner, I make money, I make passive income from all the work I did for the last 25 years. And it's not something that you do in 2 years or in 6 months. You have to start really, really early. And a lot of people, they didn't do all that. So today, they either have to get a job, and some of them have no qualification because all these times they were not trying to learn new things because everybody was telling them you were a superstar. And they were thinking, hey, I'll be a superstar forever. A lie. And so they didn't put money on the side because money was like coming out of the corn of abundance all the time. And one day, it's dry. And now you have to find a job that goes with your qualifications. And if you don't have, then you don't want to do certain jobs because you're scared of people recognizing you, and you're ashamed of just working for your family. And you end up trying to find something that, and you are pissed because you realize that you didn't save for the future.